social media is a monster, right? How do you contain it? Because it's growing for sure. I think people need to understand first and foremost that anything you put out there on a personal level is likely traceable or recordable. So, if you're in the job hunt, or just, you just need to be responsible. So, I don't think we don't do a lot of like Facebook looking people's backgrounds, checks and so forth. We have a whole kind of background check process that we run through. But I think through LinkedIn interactions, recruiters and managers and networkers, do uncover certain things of interest, like, oh, this person's connected to this person, or they're in this community, and it opens up more information. So I think it's important, if you're a job seeker, to make sure that your social media activity remains professional. And not to blur the two, and I think a lot of people are getting too comfortable with social media, and they're allowing those overlaps. All of a sudden Facebook becomes a professional plus a personal tool, and now the recruiter has access not only to your job interests, but what you did Friday night, right? So, and that may not be the best thing that you want to put forward in terms of your professional profile.
I think that some of the newer ways that people are starting to source is social media is becoming more of a, it's allowing you to sort of interact directly one-on-one with the actual recruiter. Lots of discussion groups that recruiters are starting to post things to, and getting responses directly from people, as opposed to just sort of putting up this ad that's can be somewhat faceless to the recruiter, or to the applicant rather. So I think that's sort of the new way to start looking for people, and things like LinkedIn and other are starting to do that, and it would be nice the other ways that recruiters can sort of directly interact with some of these people who are out there before they kind of come in for this interview ahead of time is always a good thing to start with.
Social media is obviously a really important factor, especially moving forward in terms of recruitment. I'm personally not as active on all forms of social media as other people are, but I think most companies are going to have a Facebook page, they're going to have a presence on Twitter, they're going to have LinkedIn profiles and things like that. For the most part, I think it's okay to follow these people, to contact these people, to connect with a recruiter on LinkedIn, because recruiters do use that form as a way to put up new jobs, to reach out new clients. I think the only time it gets a little complicated is when you're blindly reaching out to people you have no connection to. And this is especially true on LinkedIn. I have a focus area geographically and technically for my firm. And I believe that's going to be true with most places. So when I get contacted by people who don't have the qualifications for my region, be it language, be it years experience, if I can't propose them on a proposal, then these are things that I have to take into consideration, and it's just one more thing to go through. In terms of candidates' profiles on Facebook and things like that, I have rejected candidates from their Facebook profiles. I think it's a little bit better now with privacy, with people hiding their photos and things like that, and their feeds. But when you're a recent applicant and you have your college days up on your Facebook feed, on your Instagram, on your Twitter feed, and it's open to the public, you will be judged by that, for better or worse. So it's important to show some good judgment, make that private. If your friends and followers want to have access to that, great. But if I plug your name in there and I get back something negative, it's not about you as an individual at that point. It's what will that mean to the firm in the long term, and that's what people need to keep in mind.